Okay. Alright. Let's see if I can. There we go. Alright. Alright. Gonna get back into this for now. I think we just started the second trial portion. Yep, we just started the second trial. Whew. Alright. Mr. Wright? Yes? Why do you look so unhappy? Oh, nothing. Really, it's nothing. Right, Mia? Uh-oh, she looks even unhappier. Phoenix. Your client is now practically a dead man walking. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. This is no time for dead people jokes, please. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yet if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked? We have to find something, Phoenix, today. It's that or lose the trial. This isn't going to be easy. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday, we learned that there were other people present at the studios. Today, I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I wonder if it'll be that producer. The prosecution calls Mr. Salmonella to the stand. Or that director. Will the witness state his name and profession? How can you get? You don't know me? I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai noob waffle. Salmonella, I'm the director of television. Were you at Global Studios on the day of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of that day. Phoenix. Let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trailer on that day did it. Right. She doesn't waste any time putting on the pressure. I was at the studios from around 9 that morning. During the morning, I was doing an action scene run-through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area, but I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. We were in the meeting until 4. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. That's about it. The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. And according to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time? Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Is that when you always come into work? Oh, no, I can't. I come in all sorts of hours. It's the industry way. Yeah, I know about the freaks in your industry. Still, FWIW, I was pretty busy all that day. Tell us more about that. In the employee area? That's right. It was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. Was anyone else at the run-through? Oh yeah, that security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing, lol. She was cheering on Hammer, if you can believe it. She certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else? Nope, just us four. Why did it go on so long? I'm pretty sure you've already heard about this, but WP twisted his ankle during the run-through, see? Oh right, thus the limp. Which of course led to me missing my lunch, Roths. Roths? Rolling on the floor starving? Oh, sorry. What exactly did they have for lunch? T-bone steak. The assistant cooked some up. Come to think of it, there was a plate with some bones on it in the employee area. Everyone else, meaning that the witness did not eat with them. So in the end, you didn't get to eat? Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it? That must have been tough. Phoenix. Yeah? Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? Actually, there is something bothering me. Mr. Manila, just now you said steak at least. So you ate something other than steak? Yeah, good call. I had some chocolate in my pocket which I used to stave off starvation. I see. Is that all? I was sure I was onto something there. Let me go back. Oh. If his alibi holds, Powers is finished. Press him as hard as you can and find out where he's lying. Right. Go back down. You didn't take a single break? Well, yeah. Not at once. Sweats. What's he sweating so much about, I wonder? If only I had an idea. I'll wait for one to come up and hit him with it later. Alright. Let me see. Yeah, it does seem odd now that you mention it. Mr. Manila. What you want, Sweats? When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the table there. There were 2 plates, the same kind of plates as the ones in the employee area. Who ate lunch there? Nerf. No, good call, Sweats. I was embarrassed so I didn't mention it. But I did eat after all. A T-bone steak, you mean? Yeah, well, I mean the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer thinking I could eat it later. Clearly a man who likes to eat. Not suspected much. So when exactly did you eat it? We took one break during that meeting. I wolfed it down then, Jewel. A mental image I will carry with me to my grave. Wait a second. If they took a break in that meeting, that contradicts his testimony. I press on that one a bit more. What were you discussing? The Steel Samurai story in our budget. Get this, the sponsors turn to me and say, Mr. Manila, those scripts of yours are not appropriate for children. Can you believe it? Actually, I kind of can. So nobody left the table during the whole meeting? You can take a single break. Oh. Wait a second. Mr. Manila, you've just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the court that you ate the T-bone steak during that break? Oops, waffle. Well? Mr. Mandela, what's this all about? Well, yeah, I guess we didn't take a little break. Phoenix, great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to the studio during that time. Your Honor, I call the witness to testify to the court about this break. Very well. Mr. Manila, your testimony, please. Uh-oh, Edgeworth is laughing. Yeah. I don't even know what that is. We took a break, Waffle. But it was only 15 minutes. 15. That's only 13 in the base 12. Not enough time for someone to say commit murder in Studio 1, lol. That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. Stems? What? I don't think it would be enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. What time exactly did you take this break? I'd say it was from around 2:30 or so until 2:45. 2:30? That's the time of death. So we could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer, and come back. I guess that's possible, time-wise. Edgeworth doesn't look happy. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my T-bone steak. What else? There were 2 plates on that table. Oh, right. The other one was Devas plate. Devas. The producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes, that's quite a feat. Why is that? Oh, okay. Haven't we had enough of these pointless line of questioning? Your Honor, the testimony to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Right? Oh, messed it up again. Surely you aren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1? Well, Mr. Wright, Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. Do you claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1? I don't want to write off so many possible suspects, but I can't keep claiming the impossible either. I agree that it was impossible for anyone in the trailer to go to the studio in that time. Haha. I thought you might be thoughtlessly trending on thin ice again, but I see you had at least an inkling of the truth. What do you mean, Edgeworth? It's quite simple. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Miss Monkey head barred the way. Oh, I gotta fix my glasses. There we go. At around 2:15, a strong gust of wind knocked off the studio mascot's head. Ergo, when the people in the trailer took a break at 2:30, the way to the studio was blocked. Blocked by Miss Monkey's severed head. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. And somehow I feel no desire to correct him. I believe we have seen enough evidence. I would like to relieve Mr. Manila from the stand. What? It's over? Very well. The court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found that there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it is clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that day. All that is lacking is decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we indeed have a decisive evidence, a witness. Who is this witness, Mr. Edgeworth? My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. Order! I will have order! I see. The court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned for recess. Huh. That went well. I think. What do we do now, Mia? If everyone in that trailer has an alibi... I'm sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Mia! Don't tell me you're giving up. If you're giving up, what hope do I have? Don't get me wrong. I've never given up on a trial before, not while there was a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio 1. I thought there was more to it than that, but I was wrong. That's all there is. What's going to happen to me? It kind of seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you're innocent, we will prove it. I guarantee it. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, hero to children everywhere, after all. Thanks. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it. I don't think he cares too much about the kids. Just saying. I could be wrong, though. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution has a concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of tender years, and this is a murder case, we worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with his cruel questioning. Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground. However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange a box for him to stand on? Oh, right. Guard, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness. What? Just cause you're all grown up don't mean you can push me around. Cody, answer his question, okay? Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in 2nd grade. I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle. Witness, Cody. He's having trouble with this gentle thing. You were present, you were at Global Studios on the day of the incident. You got a problem with that? Please tell us what you saw that day. What, Pops, you want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just Mr. Edgeworth. A very long day. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom. My apologies, Your Honor. He said he wouldn't testify if he couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid and you lost? Hey, I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet, but I bring it with me everywhere, wherever I go. Everywhere, same thing. Phoenix. I wonder if he had that camera on the day of the murder. You better make a note of it in the court record. A new digital camera. Cody always carries it, though he's still learning how to use it. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw the day of the incident. I wanted to see the Steel Samurai rehearsal just once. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods of the past so that old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I kinda got lost on the way though, for about 30 minutes. When I came out of the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. It totally rocked. Right before my eyes, out came the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Pow! If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. But be gentle. Remember you're talking to a child. This kid is tougher than most adults we've seen in here, honestly. What happened? I'm gonna switch the controller. Alright, well, fine. You really like the Steel Samurai, huh? Of course I do. I've taped every show. And I go to all the live performances. That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park? Of course, duh. My dad always takes me. Poor dad. Wait, was that right? Where we going? Okay, so I was right. Hey, I didn't mess up. Was that the day the first time you've been to the studio? Actually, I've been a couple times. I never managed to get there on a rehearsal day, and that security lady always yelling. Right. Please continue. Chill, Pops. I'm getting to it. How am I supposed to talk with you cutting me off all the time? Jeez. Off the path? Yeah, you know how the studios are in a valley there? If you go off the path a little, there's woods. That's where I was. I see. Anyhow. Did nothing unusual happen on your way to the studio? Unusual? Did you see this monkey by any chance? Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted. So you went straight to the studio. You got lost in the woods? Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, was I relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. But guess what happened next? The Steel Samurai? Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. It looked like he was thinking about something before going in. Then he opened up the gate and went inside. I see. What then? What sort of bad guy was it? A guy? A person? Kinda tall, skinny. Are you sure it was a guy? I don't know. He was kinda far away. Huh. He's being awfully vague. What happened to the bad guy? Huh? Well, he kinda didn't move. Not a bit. Looked like he was dead. I guess he's real pro. What a great actor. Yes, I suppose he was. If you had your camera? You mean you weren't carrying your camera then? No, I wasn't. It's not like I have it all the time. Really? I guess seeing the killing freaked him out, and he went home. Phoenix, remember he's a child. Use gentle words, but be firm. Easy for you to say. Oh, it's pretty straightforward. Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. Didn't you say before that you always bring your digital camera wherever you go? You were quite clear about that. Oh! Cody, you shouldn't lie here. You understand that, right? Mr. Wright, a word with you. Uh-oh. Was I putting the pressure on too much? What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about? It's, a digital camera, Your Honor? It's kind of a new sort of camera. How do I explain that? I see. Anyway, Cody, I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Mr. Wright, how cruel are you to terrorize a poor child so? I don't care if he's a child or a prosecuting attorney. No one should lie in court. What do you mean? What do you mean, or prosecuting attorney? Well, Cody. What? Yeah? So I had my camera. So what? You got a problem with that? So you did have a camera. And did you use this camera? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching. Very well. Please testify to the court about what you were so busy watching. Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off it. The Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong, the Steel Samurai rules. Ow. Ah, is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. So why didn't you use it? He's getting to that. Relax and listen. I didn't use it because I was too busy watching the real thing. So you were watching the Steel Samurai. Did you watch the whole fight? Yeah, of course. You didn't turn away, not even once? No. Okay, then tell us exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm getting to that. So the bad guy attacked him first. Yeah. So what sort of person was this bad guy? I told you, a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I kind of don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai. I see. And what happened next? Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving? Well, because the Steel Samurai brought him to justice. And how exactly did he do that? Oh, how did he do it? With a samurai kick, and then a samurai punch, samurai chop, samurai slap, something like that. He's still being vague about this. What? Don't give me that look, Pops. How should I play this? Cody. Ow. What? Something's bothering me. Before you said that you couldn't take your eyes off the action. Yeah, so what? Yet you missed the most important part? What is the meaning of this? The witness has stated that he saw quite clearly. You know as well as I do that he's being vague. Tell me what kind of murderer uses a samurai slap. My point is this. Cody, you may have seen some of the Steel Samurai's fight, but you missed the most important part, the killing blow. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, how could this be? Can you explain how he might have missed something so vital? Well, that's the thing. Whew. Phoenix, I believe you're on the right track with this. Think, why didn't Cody see the climax of the fight? I know you can figure this out. Mr. Wright, your answer. You have ascertained that this young boy is a great fan of the Steel Samurai. Why wouldn't he watch the climax of the fight? Ooh. Because he couldn't watch it. How could he calmly watch a murder taking place at his age? Just a moment, please. One thing has become quite clear in this boy's testimony. He did not believe he was witnessing a murder. He was watching a Steel Samurai fight like on TV. The more real the fight, the more he would have watched. I have to agree with Mr. Edgeworth. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have another explanation? He mixed the climax of the fight because he was looking at something else. Probably. Something else? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. What could possibly distract this boy from seeing his idol, the Steel Samurai, fight? What do you claim he was looking at? Oof. Come on, think of something. Nothing. Yes. Sorry, Your Honor. Alright. I gotta blow my nose. Your Honor, I have evidence. Evidence? Yes, Your Honor. Why did Cody look away from the fight? Here's my proof. What's that? The camera? The witness stated that he recently received this camera. Yes, I'm aware of that. He wasn't entirely familiar with its operation. I'm aware of that too. Ah! Correct. Why would Cody be looking somewhere else at the critical moment? Because he was looking at his camera. He was trying to take a picture. Hey! Bullseye. What's your problem, Pops? You got a thing for picking on little kids? Pressing, not picking. Good job, Phoenix. Cody was lying, clearly. Smart of you to realize there was no way he could just stand there watching his hero and not take a picture. Right. Cody? There was only one reason why you would have looked away from the fight, and that was because you wanted to take a picture. But having just received your camera, you weren't used to using it yet. So you missed the climax of the fight, correct? Yeah. Well, Phoenix, I'll bet you anything he's holding more than that. Have him testify again. Right. Maya means business. Your Honor, the defense would like to request that Cody Hatkins testify once more. Very well. Cody, could you please tell us more about your camera and about why you didn't take a picture of the fight? Welcome to the real world, kid. No photo. Yeah, you're right, Pops. The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain. So I held up my camera to take a picture, but the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. That's all that happened. Yep. Anything strange in that testimony, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but I'd like to proceed with the cross-examination anyways. Oh. Oop. Pops? Yeah, I called you Pops, you spiky-haired geezer. Geezer? I'm Mr. Edgeworth, and I guess I'll be... what? That's what I hate about grown-ups. You're all so self-conscious. Okay, off with the kid gloves. Testify, witness, testify. Yipes! So you did see the beginning of the fight? Yeah. Did you notice anything unusual? Well, I guess the Steel Samurai was moving a little strange. Moving strangely? Why couldn't you take a picture? My new camera has too many buttons. I couldn't figure it out. I tried to take a picture. I really tried. When the lens opened, what did you see? Well, a person on the ground and the Steel Samurai. That's all? Yeah, I told you I didn't take a picture. I would have, once I got that lens open. Did he really not take a picture? Not even once? One? Nah, he definitely would have taken a picture. There's got to be something here I can use. Cody! Listen up, Cody Hackins. I know exactly what happened that day. You took a picture. Hey! Bullseye. How did you know? I see through all your lies, Cody Hackins. It's one of my powers. Wow. This feels great. Yeah, I took a picture. Perhaps you can change your testimony to reflect this, Cody. I took a few shots, but then it was too late, so I erased them. You erased them? Yeah. Why would you erase a picture of your beloved Steel Samurai victorious? Well, you know. Why would I want to keep a picture like that? He's becoming less and less cooperative. Better find a clear contradiction soon, or some solid evidence. How can I pick holes in such a short testimony? There has to be something. Dig up the dirt, Phoenix. Find out what this kid's all about. Cody. What? Man, every time you say Cody, you follow up with something bad. I just wanted to thank you for giving me this the other day. Huh? Oh, right. What was it you told me then? I go to every live performance. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. Wazam! I got them all. I never missed one. A perfect collection. Cody, did you really get a picture of the Steel Samurai standing victorious over his foe? If you did, I find it hard to believe that you would just erase it. Wouldn't you keep it for your album? Ah! Mr. Wright, what exactly is this album? It's called Path to Glory. It's a collection of pictures of the Steel Samurai, all taken by Cody Hackins. He claims it's a perfect collection of every single battle the Steel Samurai has won. I see. Don't you find this very odd, Your Honor? Among all his pictures of the Steel Samurai, none were taken that day. Order. Mr. Wright, have you an explanation? If the Steel Samurai had just defeated his adversary, I certainly would expect to see a picture of it in this album. Exactly my point, Your Honor. No, wait, no way. Phoenix? I think we finally discovered the truth. And what the truth it is. Mia, are we sure about this? Did he actually? Yes. I'm pretty sure what you're thinking is right. Tell them, Phoenix. Tell them what the truth is. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what's going on here. Why was there no picture in the album from the other day of the murder? Why would the boy have erased the photos he took? I can think of only one reason, Your Honor. The Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why Cody deleted those photos. You mean the Steel Samurai lost? Well, Cody, am I right, aren't I? Tell the truth. The bad guy defeated the Steel Samurai. No way! No! It's impossible. The Steel Samurai never loses. He never loses to anyone, ever. Your Honor, the witness has revealed everything with his words. There was a reason why he lied and told us he didn't take a picture. The same reason he erased his previous photos. For Cody, it was inconceivable that the Steel Samurai would be defeated. However, Cody witnessed the impossible. He saw the Steel Samurai lose. Yet to admit what he saw would destroy everything he believed in. That's why he lied and said the Steel Samurai won. He couldn't handle the truth. Order! I will have order! Witness, I mean Cody, is this true? What did you see? Tell the court what you saw. Yeah. Cody, that day you saw the Steel Samurai lose a fight, right? Okay, you're right. The Steel Samurai fell down. Then he didn't move. Order! What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? The Steel Samurai was the murderer, not the victim. Yet according to your witness testimony, the Steel Samurai was the one who fell. Mr. Wright, what's going on? Apparently we have all made a serious error. An error? What's this all about? Quite simply, the victim was Jack Hammer. Mr. Wright, we all know that. Right. Perhaps you'd like to reconsider your last statement. I'm sorry. It was I who was wrong. Okay, Wright. First you're right, now you're wrong. Which is it? Man. Look! Look, I'm sure there's something we're overlooking. If you're so sure, then tell us what it is. If you understand what really happened, it's actually quite simple. At the end of the fight, the Steel Samurai fell to the ground and lay still. In other words, the Steel Samurai was not the killer, he was the victim. Don't you see? Jack Hammer was the Steel Samurai. Order! So the Steel Samurai is in this photograph? You're saying the man in this costume was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer? That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Jack Hammer was present at the action scene run-through that morning. Thus, he obviously knew about Will's power foot injury. But wait! Hadn't Mr. Hammer gone to Studio 1 already? That's what everyone thought. But remember what Miss Oldback said in her testimony. Oh my god. Ow. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Mr. Jack Hammer left the employee area after lunch. However, no one saw him going to Studio 1, nor was there a picture of him. He waited for Mr. Powers to take a nap in his dressing room. Then he snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. But why would the victim do such a thing? I don't know. I get it. I thought the Steel Samurai was moving strange. So it was a different person inside the suit. Pops! Huh? Me? What? Actually, there was one piece of data I saved. Data? Yeah, a photo of my digital camera. What? Show us, quick! No way, man. Not if you're gonna look at me like that. Now! Here, this is it. Well, looking at this, it's a little hard to say. I'm afraid that it could be anyone in that costume. Your opinion, Mr. Wright? I agree, Your Honor. This isn't decisive evidence. I'm sorry. This doesn't look like it's the proof we need. I'll give it back. Wait, Phoenix. Mia? What? Look at the photo once more. That's it, Phoenix. That photo is all the evidence you need to win this trial. What? Your Honor, may I see the photo once more, please? Certainly. I don't see why not. Phoenix, show him. There's a glaring, decisive inconsistency with the facts as we know them in that photo. Find the inconsistency in the photo. Your Honor, look at this! I see a gate. Might I draw your attention to the number on that gate? The number? Oh, yes. Well, it's hard to see, but it looks like a 2. Clearly not a 1, Your Honor, correct? Ah! I believe Mr. Edgeworth sees what I'm getting at. But that's impossible. What's this all about? Please explain so that I might be shocked along with the rest of the court. I'll use the studio guide map. The body was found here in Studio 1. However, what do we see in this photo taken at the time of the murder? It does not say 1 on that gate in the photo, Your Honor. Here is the true scene of the crime. Here, at Studio 2. I see. That would explain the 2 on the gate in the photo. Your Honor, I find it very significant that the murder took place in Studio 2. As you may recall, there's a trailer in Studio 2. Now, on that day, a meeting was held in that very trailer. There was a break in the meeting corresponding to the time of death. During that break, Mr. Salmonella and Ms. Davask were outside eating steak. They were at the scene of the crime. The path to the trailer was blocked. So we have heard. The path was blocked at 2:15. In other words, the victim went to Studio 2 before that time. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. Remember Mr. Salmonella's testimony? Allow me to remind the court. He said no one in the trailer was guilty because they could not have gone to Studio 1. Yet in actuality, the reverse was true. Only someone in the trailer could have committed this murder. They were the only ones with access to the scene of the crime, Studio 2. Order! Defense makes the following claims. The scene of the crime was Studio 2. The person that the security guard, Miss Olbeck, saw was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer. Mr. Hammer, for some reason, stole the Steel Samurai costume. Then he went to Studio 2. This is madness. Jack Hammer is the victim. The victim! Why would he steal a Steel Samurai costume? Are you suggesting he did so to cover up the details of his own murder? Well, no, of course not. Or do you have proof? Give me proof that the victim, Jack Hammer, stole the costume. Proof? Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything like that. Phoenix, even if you're not 100% sure about this, you have to try. And I think you've got proof that's good enough to win them over. Just go for it. All or nothing. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? Actually, I do have proof. Here's my proof that Jack Hammer stole the costume. This is it. In an empty medicine bottle. I found this on the table in the employee area. The same table where Mr. Hammer and Mr. Powers ate. The label reads sleeping pills. Sleeping pills? The defendant, Mr. Powers, spent that entire afternoon sleeping. He was drugged by Mr. Hammer. Wait a moment. The bottle does raise some suspicion, yes. But there is no proof that Mr. Hammer used it. Your Honor, I have an idea. An idea? Very well, let's hear it. I want to check this bottle for fingerprints. If my claim is true, Mr. Hammer's fingerprints should show up on this bottle. I suppose you're right. Very well. The court will take possession of the bottle. Empty bottle given to the judge. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Cody Hacken's testimony has revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things may have happened very differently than we previously thought. The Steel Samurai seen by Mrs. Olbeck may have been the victim, Jack Hammer. The scene of the crime was not Studio 1, but Studio 2. And for those in the trailer did have time to commit the murder. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? Also, who killed him and why? Find the answers for me by tomorrow. That's a lot of homework. Mr. Edgeworth? You will need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you will need to reconsider your suspicion of Mr. Powers. As you say, Your Honor. This trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension. Very well, court is adjourned. Whew. That was a close one. We were saved by a hair. That's just all that counts. I thought seriously about going home about 3 times during the trial. Me too. Really? You both seem so confident. Maybe I should take up a career in acting. I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Me too. Dead? Of course we're kidding. Are you sure? I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to make our final investigation, but I promise you we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial. Right, thanks. Ow. Boy, things are heating up. And we're on the last day of investigation. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. Maya! So what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we have no time to waste. The old Ridback sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick, I think her guard's down. Yeah. I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die. Whew, she's alive. I was wondering about the Vosk, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her, so she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her. So sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal? He's a soft, a pushover. Does whatever Vosk tells him to do. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer. Ah! I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer. You dragged his star down from the sky and stomped on it, calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh. She's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Alright, I'm just gonna leave then. My bad. I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there are any other clues lying around. Yeah! No touching! Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatesque at times. I suppose it's an actor in me. Dramatesque indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. So you're looking for traces of some of the sleeping pills. How? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright? So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Found in the employee area on it are traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. How goes your investigation? To tell you the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, but some people think we should switch suspects. What do you mean, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the Fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Bottles. See, whatever happened with the empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim Jack Hammer's prints on that bottle. So that means... Yep, sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Found on the table in an employee area bears Jack Hammer's fingerprints. Empty dressing rooms like this always feel kind of lonely, don't they? I'm sure Mr. Powers will be back soon. He'll be fine. Yeah! Pop. Yeah, cop! Whew. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammers put on the Steel Samurai costume, then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Uh-oh. Hey, Nick. It's Miss Vosk. Hello. Hello. Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. I know. That's all she had to say, apparently. I'm watching the clouds. There you go. I like that one better. Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh, dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My fable speaks to me. I know it. Oh, dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about me. What? I'm wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manella. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about him in the trailer by yourselves. Oh dear. Covered in soot. It must not clean it much. This is where Salmonella and the vase ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Something. Hey, they ate T-bone steaks too. Something wrong? I don't know. I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this just feels odd, you know? Can't say that I do. Whoop. Wasn't the assistant cleaning up there yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare card she needed. Nothing in here that could be a clue. Just some paper cups and crumbled documents. This is where they had their meeting. There are documents and paper cups scattered around. It looks like they were designing a set to use for the Steel Samurai show. They've got some figures on how much the set costs. I can't believe they spend that much money on the sets. Alright. There's nothing really here. She's not even looking. Okay, hey, you look? Why are you showing that to me, Nick? No. Nah. Oh, hey. There's a big 2 painted there. Here. So this is a number in Cody's photograph. And to think, if he hadn't brought that photograph in. Don't get all teary-eyed yet. I've been here. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed them in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP. Only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Voss? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dare tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on a board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vosk's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call though. I can't imagine him jumping. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth? Oh, Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business, but he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to the sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Boss came to Global. 5 years ago? Huh. Ugh! Ah! Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done, but... this week's is the last episode of The Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume, too! What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh, I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Voss, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything, she said apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set where it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set? What do you mean the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer, who signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to be make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet. They want it quiet. You understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. And this is... a fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be canceled just of some adult can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this incident that happened 5 years ago. Okay. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vosk, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer? And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vosk asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk. What, you still sneaking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darnest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studio what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Uh-oh. Who did you hear that from? Nicholas? Nicholas. Nick Penny Nicholas. That assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about that accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dragging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume, I'm sorry, Miss Oldback, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Powers' costume. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What is this? What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer's had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. Uh-oh. Uh-huh. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired. See, tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Voss. She has ties to the mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. A photograph? Ooh, wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on the top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell into the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Shows an accident involving Jack Hammer. Let's go. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well, Oldbag. Oh, old? She means the security lady, Mrs. Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway, Miss Voss, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. You came. Well then, what was this about you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Voss, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for petty change. So I blackmailed him, so I'm a blackmailer now. Well, that's what it is, isn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh, I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of his own accord. But You were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me? What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. Are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it? On purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me, now. What? This is valuable evidence! Boys. Oh. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Power's dirt, no? Why should DeVos care about it at all? I'm sure I have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! Hold it right there! I heard everything, pal. DeVos, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? The Vosk. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today we'll call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From the testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss DeVos to the stand. Miss DeVos is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? DeVos, I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I just like needless banter. If you must pontiferate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vosk. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her own pants down, so to speak. Ow. I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp and ended at 4. There was to be rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we went to it. We took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all met to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There was a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey's head toppling over. Manila used this van to drive Vosk to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. Oh, I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Right! By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the at the employee area? No. Are you always like this? Terse? Yes. Oh dear. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your desk. It hurts my ears. Ugh. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. And I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. And what were you doing? What were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat the T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she'd said a little bit more. It's hard. I think she's pretty being used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. Oh, here's the tough part. Oh man, alright. Trying to think here. I have no idea. I gotta read again. She doesn't say much. Right. She didn't eat that steak. Okay. Nope. Nah. Ooh! Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate T-bone steak, but I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This is a plate. This was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vosk and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on their plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vosk, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat any steak during the break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like the incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Voss doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? she was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vosk left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vosk. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you see, a woman of a petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you would have had a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. I haven't said anything yet. With my fake blood. Alright, right. Here's the real evidence, Your Honor. I can prove the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. Thought too far ahead? Thought too far ahead. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning scene run through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with the duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who was wearing a thick costume with this through the test? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well. Let's see this murder weapon then. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is the photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was very close kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Mr. Voss meets Jack Hammer outside the studio trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though, whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my scriptwriting staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. How were you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How would I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:35. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed out inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let me hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Miss Vosk, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van though, right? I had Sal drive. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he wasn't. Ha! So without Mr. Manella noticing anything, she put the body in the van. Then managed to put the body into the costume? Are you seriously suggesting that that is possible? Of course I'm not serious. I was kidding to lighten up the proceedings. Lighten? You can't lighten up a murder! Mr. Wright, the court requests you refrain from making claims unjust. Yes, Your Honor. Of course, Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into that costume. There's no way Miss Voss could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vosk, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean the Vosk? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did it? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And as a result of the battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts. Of course it's as the witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Oh well, I came here as a witness today. If you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. Ugh, what do I do now? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? You know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said it all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask me the same questions and get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. To come so far and only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examining of the witness, Miss Vosk. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does it make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vosk repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized he did it too. She did it too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. I was with Sal in the old bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady old bag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and director notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Sal Manella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy. The witness will continue her testimony. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Well, remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vosk? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his Steel Samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Voss. You may continue. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said anything. No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then silence, dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Oldbeck, the security lady? Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all of this after the fact. Photograph? Meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in the meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I wonder... well, the script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There's a murderer after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Miss Vosk, please continue. There we go. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Voss said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you've just said is reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Were you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vosk, do you have an explanation? I can't believe it. Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe that there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her ear, or everything we've done tonight would have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. No. No, see, overruled. Youch! Come on, come on, come on, come on. I knew the hammer was in, couldn't do any action to left them behind. Yeah. Woo! You knew the hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. Ah, I'm blind. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's what he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vosk. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vosk, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vosk. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are your killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there was a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court's evidence as to Miss Vosk's motive in this murder. Is it that or that? Whatever. This is it. Why are you showing that to me? Why are you whispering? I was just testing it on you. Huh? Well, I'm afraid your test results are negative. Mr. Wright! Yes, Your Honor? Hurry up with it. A certain tempo we have to maintain here. Yes, Your Honor. Right. Here goes. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vosk? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With DeVos's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you see, DeVos used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for your petty change. Bringing us to the present day in Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the X-Star. One moment, Mr. Wright. Oh, got my controller. Okay. We're talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed DeVos, not the other way around. What motive would Mr. Voss have? Yes, that is right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me, and I'd never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Voss' motive for murder. Saving again? She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Voss did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Voss. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for that purpose, you ask? To kill DeVos, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Oh. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's DeVos? In their waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you are right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Oh, I kicked that. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vosk, but to think but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in kids' shows, and as the villain to boot, the kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into the sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth? You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vosk would have gotten away Vosk would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Oh, yeah. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar! Right. I must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes. Unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They'll only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if! They're rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. The Pink Princess. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll admit it, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Huh. That was fast. Turnabout goodbye. Whew. Alright. That's for that one. I'm going to end it here with that. I got something else I have to do today. But I'm going to be streaming Persona 5 because of the release of Persona 5's Joker in Smash. It could be coming out later on tonight. I think like 9 o'clock tonight as the update goes live. So I will say that all of this is going to be on YouTube as well on the Eternal Souls channel. Boom. Check us out. We have other stuff as well on there. A bunch of other streams and random one-off stupid idiotic videos that you may or may not laugh at. But whatever you do, please subscribe here, subscribe to us over there, and come hang out. And if you miss any of these streams or stuff like that, again, they'll all be on the YouTube channel. So I will be back later on, and I hope to see some more people in the future. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.